We will do the essential verses of the Gita. As you all know, that Gita has been one of the most important texts in Indian thought. In spite of the fact that it is one of the most important books, people are of the opinion that the message of Gita is relevant to us only when we retire, when we have nothing else to do in life. In fact, it is quite the opposite. Bhagavad Gita and the teaching of the Gita is timeless. Whatever is Gita talking about is helpful for us to live our life meaningfully and effectively. Whether it is our personal life, our professional life, our interaction with the people, the actions that we choose, no matter which aspect of our life we are talking about, we have something to learn from the Gita. So, how it is, that is, we will see in the next verses. But before we go into the verses, I would like to give you background of Gita, which is set within Mahabharata. There are two brothers, one is Dhritarashtra and the other is Pandu. Both are prince, and Dhritarashtra is elder of the two. Legitimately, he is the heir and he would become the king. But unfortunately, Dhritarashtra is blind. A blind person cannot run the kingdom. So therefore, the kingdom goes to Pandu, who is the younger son. During the lifetime of Pandu, everything was fine, and he gave due respect to Dhritarashtra for what he was, and then there was no problem. But Pandu died untimely. Then the question came about the heir. Now the rule is that Pandu's eldest son, who is Yudhisthira, should get the kingdom. But the eldest son of Dhritarashtra, who is Duryodhana, felt that his father was not able to be the king because he was blind. But now Duryodhana is not blind, so therefore legitimately he should be the king. Now this is something which went against the rule. All the time when Yudhisthira became the king, Duryodhana was highly discontent. He was not happy about it, and he did many different things to get him out of the kingdom. But nothing succeeded, and Pandu's sons, who are 5 in number, they prevailed. So they continued to rule the kingdom. Then Duryodhana was so unhappy that along with his uncle Shakuni, they devised a way to get them out of the kingdom. They invited the Pandavas, to a game of dice, and they cheated and they took away the entire kingdom, including the wife, and everybody was sent to the forest. The condition was that the Pandavas, including their wife Draupadi, should be in the forest for 12 years and then 1 year incognito. So they should not be able to be found out for 1 year, and if they are found out within that year, then again they have to go back for 12 years. Now Pandavas accepted that, in spite of the fact that they knew that they were illegitimately deprived of the kingdom, that Duryodhana had cheated in the game of dice, but they somehow yielded in the name of what was to be done, and they quietly went to the forest. they completed 13 years. 1 year incognito was also completed, but Duryodhana insisted that they were found out before the 13th year was complete. Duryodhana refused to give back the kingdom, and he insisted that Pandus had to go back for 12 years. Lord Krishna, who was cousin of both Pandavas and Kauravas, tried to negotiate. He said, let us not, because legitimately, if you see from the standpoint of what was the reality was that Pandavas had completed 13 years and the kingdom had to go back to them. That was the real, if you see from the standpoint of dharma, that was the case. But because Duryodhana refused to do that, Lord Krishna agreed to negotiate. He said, let us negotiate. You give Pandavas 5 kingdoms at 5 small villages in your kingdom, and you keep the rest of the kingdom. Duryodhana refused. Then Lord Krishna said, okay, give them 5 houses in one village and you keep the rest of the kingdom. Duryodhana even refused that. Ultimately, one final call was made and they said, give them 1 house with 5 rooms. And Duryodhana refused. He had no intention of giving even an ounce of land to Pandavas. He said if they want anything, they have to fight and take it. So that was a deadlock of the negotiation, and then it seemed as though war was inevitable. Because for Pandavas, it was something which was legitimately what belonged to them. They were willing to give up a lot, but ultimately it then became a principle that you can give many things away, but you can't just then let him walk all over you. So it became a matter of principle for which they had to fight. Now, when the war was declared, both Duryodhana and Arjuna went to Lord Krishna for help, because there was a big question of on whose side Lord Krishna was going to be. Both went for help. Duryodhana arrived first. He sat near the head of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna was sleeping. Arjuna arrived later, and Arjuna sat at the feet of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna woke up. He saw Arjuna first, and he said, since I saw Lord Arjuna first, I will give him to choose first. And his choice was something which was incredible. He said, on one side, the entire army of mine, including all the weapons, and that is something that you can choose. On the other hand, me alone without any weapons, and I will not fight. Arjuna had a first choice. Arjuna realized that he did not have any dearth of any weapons or skills. All he needed was Lord Krishna on his side. And Duryodhana obviously thought that what will Lord Krishna alone, without any kind of fighting, what will he do? He obviously wanted the entire army along with the weapons. So when Arjuna chose Lord Krishna, Duryodhana was extremely happy. Both came to Lord Krishna for help. Both went back very happy because they got what they wanted. And now the actual war begins, and that is the dialogue right now.